So we have yet another developer praising Xbox Game Pass because it helped them find an audience for their game. This is not some small developer either, and this isn't a small single A or double A game that we're talking about. No, this is one of the best games that came out last year and is a triple A studio developer. I'm talking about Square Enix and their massive game, Guardians of the Galaxy. Let's get into what the developer had to say about Game Pass and also see if this could help more developers use the service to help them find a bigger gaming audience. There's a lot to talk about here, so let's get right into it. Hey, what's up everyone? Thanks for stopping by and checking out the video. Remember to hit that subscribe button and that like button. The support is greatly appreciated. And if you want to be notified on future content, hit that small little bell icon. And if you want to go that extra mile to support the channel, hit that join button. Alright, so enough of that. Let's get right into this article because it's honestly one of those stories people tend to forget about, especially since it does put Xbox Game Pass in a very positive light that some people, for some reason, just hate to see. This revolves around Guardians of the Galaxy, a game that came out late last year around October. Now, as someone that absolutely loved this game, I've been talking about it for some time now, basically telling anyone that is willing to listen to buy it and check it out. Yet even with so many other people telling everyone to grab this game, that didn't translate to sales for the developer because the game performed well below what Square Enix wanted from Edios Montreal, the studio that made this game. Yet now, months later, the game is at the forefront of the news cycle and there's even more people playing and talking about it. That's all due to Xbox Game Pass, which is something that this article is pointing out. Guardians of the Galaxy is growing its audience because of Xbox Game Pass. After a slow launch, Edios Montreal says its Guardians of the Galaxy game is reaching a bigger audience with it available on Xbox Game Pass. As the presence of the superheroes continue to grow on the silver screen, so too is the growing in the world of video games, with series like Spider-Man and Batman Arkham to enjoy. Marvel's cosmic band of misfits are among the most recent to find their way to PC and home consoles with 2021's Guardians of the Galaxy from Square Enix and Edios Montreal. However, after apparently coming in below initial sales expectations, Edios Montreal says the game's player base is growing with it now available on Xbox Game Pass. Okay, so the first thing I want to mention is the fact that there's been a pretty steady stream of comic book video games that people have enjoyed. Of course, the first one that comes to mind has to be the Batman Arkham series, which is considered to be the best comic book video games of all time. Then, of course, we have Spider-Man games from Sony, which I have to say are some of the best comic book games I've personally ever played, and I've loved each and every one of them. Yet those games aren't something we should be talking about when it comes to Guardians of the Galaxy. What we need to focus on is the Avengers game that released a year before Guardians released. That game, while fun and I enjoyed it for what the campaign was, had massive issues that people didn't like at all. And to some extent, it hurt Guardians' game even more when it launched, because it was made by the same publisher that made Avengers and Guardians. Not to mention, the games looked very similar in art style and gameplay wise. I have a feeling that the launch of the Avengers hurt Guardians' sales potential, not to mention the fan reception. Which brings me back to Game Pass, because it would seem that Xbox's Game Pass could help developers get a game they have faith in out to even more people, especially games like Guardians that could win awards and even attract new players from Avengers, if not people that were soured by Avengers, which is brought up right here. The recent audience growth came up as part of interviews Eurogamers conducted with Edios Montreal members ahead of the 2022 BAFTA Video Game Awards, where Guardians was nominated for 3 awards, including Best Narrative. Senior Creative Director Jean-Francis Dugas acknowledged previous statements from Square Enix's Yosuke Matsuda, I messed that name up, who said the game sales underperformed, but said he and the rest of the team were proud of their work on the game, and they have no regrets about it. He went on to say he was happy to see the recent growth the game has had thanks to positive feedback and the game becoming available on Xbox Game Pass. What I love right now is that people, especially with Game Pass, are playing it, and they're sharing the experience. Senior Narrative Director Mary DeMarley told Eurogamer, we make games to touch people. We make games to hit an audience. And it's great that it's finding its audience, and it's great that it keeps going forward. So let's break this all down really quick, because there's a lot to talk about. The first thing we have to say is that Guardians as a game deserves all the love and awards it's receiving, because it's truly a special game. I played it when it first released, and I was hyped to play it for a very long time. I loved every single moment I played with this game. Yet I knew that it wasn't going to sell like it should have because of the Avengers game that released prior. Not to mention, the marketing for Guardians wasn't all that great. It felt a little tilted or a little off to me. But if we pay attention to what is being said by the developers themselves, you can easily see that Game Pass has brought a game to far more people. This is something that's been said by multiple developers across the industry. No matter what type of game you have, you can see great numbers for your game if you just put it on Game Pass. And not just Game Pass for consoles, but Game Pass for console, PC, and cloud. That's the main point that needs to be said here. Guardians of the Galaxy is on both console and the PC platform for Game Pass. So no matter where you are, you're able to play the game. And don't get me wrong, the reason the developers are talking about Game Pass is not only because they got some new awesome traction for their game, but it's also because they got paid by Microsoft to get the game onto Game Pass. Think about that for just a second. Really sit back and let that sink in. You make a game, it doesn't do as well as you would hope, but you have faith in it and you know it's a great game, especially when you look at the review scores for it. So you decide to strike a deal with Xbox to get some of that money back from the development of the game you just made. And boom, your game does really well on Game Pass and it blows up even more than you thought. So not only did you help mitigate some of the development budget for the game by striking a deal with Xbox, but you also get a massive amount of people playing your game and probably get some people to buy the game because of the discount Game Pass provides. Sounds like a pretty sweet deal if you ask me. Oh, and the developer, like I said before, isn't a small developer. No, they make massive AAA games that people should play, which if you pay attention to what the developer is saying, people are doing exactly that, playing their game, which is what's said right here. The game's audience growth, thanks in part to Xbox Game Pass, is a perfect example of the potential power the platform has to grow a game's audience, even well past its initial release. As of January 2022, Game Pass has over 25 million subscribers enjoying a library of games that includes day one Xbox exclusives, AAA releases like Guardians of the Galaxy, and lesser-known indie titles that could pique a player's interest. It wouldn't be surprising to see other third-party studios in the future push for early access on Game Pass, seeking the kind of growth exemplified by Guardians. And this is the whole point of Game Pass. Get more games into more gamers' hands. Sure, Microsoft sees it as an awesome way to get a steady stream of revenue into their pockets, but for gamers, the value is almost insane to think about. And to developers like Edios Montreal, the value is obviously easy to see there too. And that's why Game Pass is such a unique platform and a unique service. It benefits every single party involved. Microsoft and Xbox make their money, studios and developers get their games off the ground and make money, and gamers get the best value in gaming. Not many services have this type of support and value for all parties involved. And to really shift and talk about Bethesda really quick, Game Pass and Phil Spencer was a huge reason why they joined Xbox. They love the idea of getting their games into more people's hands. That's exactly what developers want to do. They create these awesome experiences for more people to just enjoy them. Sure, there's money and pride involved in all of this, but for me, at the end of the day, gaming is about having fun and enjoying something that we otherwise would never have enjoyed before. Let's hope Game Pass continues to provide that to gamers and developers, because you know what? That's exactly what they're trying to do. They're trying to get more games into more people's hands, just like Guardians of the Galaxy, and we're going to see this happening a lot with games that might have sold a little less, or maybe games that just need that little extra oomph to get more people to play it. Something like Rainbow Six Extraction, which I think would have sold very poorly, came on Game Pass, launched really well, and Ubisoft was happy with the results. So we're going to see a lot of those things happening, and I'm sure Game Pass is going to be at the forefront of providing gamers what they want, which is games and value. But enough of what I think about all of this. Tell me what you think about all of this. Are you surprised by what the developer had to say about Game Pass? Can you see other publishers and developers turning to Xbox for help? Will more games join Game Pass after seeing so many developers praising it? Have you played some of these games that got a second chance, like Guardians? Go down below and let me know. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please hit that subscribe button and that like button. The support helps out the channel more than you know. And give me a follow on Twitter at Zalker87. I'm always on there talking games and sharing my latest videos. Plus, I love interacting with everyone there, so get on Twitter and let's talk about gaming. Also, follow me on Xbox Live. My gamertag is Zalker87, just like my channel name. See what games I'm playing, and let's compete in achievements for the month. So right now, I've been jumping into a lot of games. I think I have over 20 hours in MLB The Show 2022. I know, I can't get enough of it. I've been playing the playoffs. I've been going into the World Series. I'm having just a lot of fun. I kind of got all the difficulty pushed up because as you play, you progress the difficulty, you get better AI, better pitches, better hitting. It becomes more difficult, and there's some intense games in there. I came back in some games that I think I was going to lose and came back at the bottom of the ninth and had just a blast playing it. It's really kind of engrossed me into baseball. I haven't played a sports game in so long, so I'm having a lot of fun with it. The only other sports game I kind of played was Riders Republic, which I'm having fun with. I've been playing that on Ubisoft Plus, which is great, but you know what? That's more extreme sports like biking, riding, dirt biking, and all this kind of cool, crazy stuff. I haven't got into like a big MLB or Madden game, and that's exactly what's happening because of Game Pass. I'm jumping into MLB The Show, put 20 hours into it, have over like 600 achievement points in that game. I'm having such a good time with it. I recommend everybody check it out on their Xbox because it's free there. It sucks that Sony isn't putting it on the PlayStation Plus platform, especially when your competition has one of your first-party games day and date on Game Pass. So check that out. But let me know what you're playing. Are you playing something on your Xbox Series X, your PlayStation 5, or are you on your PC playing something? Let me know down below because that's what we're here for, is to talk games. And that's all for now. Thanks for watching, and until next time, remember, enjoy your gaming. Later.